All right, guys, I'm back for the trifecta. I just want to thank Lord above, the one and only Jesus Christ, for letting me get to the day. But the video, this one right here, is about the Super Bowl. Who do you guys got winning the Super Bowl? That's the real question. That's the question. Who's going to win Super Bowl? Who's going to win Super Bowl? Is it the out of the blue, out of nowhere? And shout out to my dog Austin Claus. He's been the biggest Bengals fan for years. He's been streaming the Bengals. When they drafted Joe Burrow's son went crazy. But is it that story, the Joe Burrow story coming out of nowhere? Well, ain't necessarily, well, I guess you could say out of nowhere, coming out of nowhere this season. The dark horse story with bringing them boys from haven't made the Super Bowl since the 1980s, Boomer Esiason and them boys. They lost to the San Francisco 49ers back then. Or is it the story of you bring Matt Stafford losing in Detroit, all them years losing in Detroit, now you bring him to you put him on the Rams and them boys win with the super team. Who do you guys got win? You guys got the super team, which them guys like to say, with Matt Stafford, Odell Beckham, and Odell Beckham been playing crazy too. You got to give that man respect for that. He been playing good, especially with how they was talking about this guy when he was on the Browns. They made the man seem like he couldn't play no more. It's crazy too. The man was on the Browns, I want to say 3 years, and he's had more touchdowns this year in the 8 games he played with the Rams than he had for 3 years, that's retarded when you really think about that. Is it gonna be the Rams or is it gonna be the Bengals? And then those two, I guess it's a twofold question. What's the better story? What's the better story? Given Matt Stafford coming from Detroit, this historically losing franchise, joining the super team, them boys first year win the Super Bowl, or the out of the blue, the LSU, they won national championship. The dark horse, nobody in a million years had the Bengals getting to the Super Bowl, let alone winning it. Which team? All right, so for me, I think the better story, for me personally, would be the Bengals winning the Super Bowl. If they won the Super Bowl, that'd be the better story. Because that storyline for me is better because it lets you know why the NFL is the best league in the NFL out of all sports. Is because you don't never know who's gonna win. It's always, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's been 17 years of different teams winning the Super Bowl, as opposed to the NBA and the NBL. Like every year, we always know who in the NBA gonna be. It's usually like 4 or 5 teams that we always say that can win the championship. Same thing with NBL and all these other sports. With the NFL, you truly don't know. I want to say they say that half the teams that make the playoffs in the NFL next year won't make the playoffs. Which that's a crazy number, as opposed to the NBA is generally almost the same teams every year. So I would say that if the Bengals come out of nowhere and win the Super Bowl this year, that would be a crazier story than the Rams, because everybody expected the Rams to get here, especially because they've been to Super Bowl 3 years ago with Jimmy Garoppolo, with Jared Goff, and they lost to the Chiefs on that crazy. They lost to the Chiefs. But the other part of the question is, who do I think is gonna win the Super Bowl? My honest opinion, I would love, and I was gonna get mad at me. My heart wants to see the Bengals win because the Cinderella story. That's a great way of saying the Cinderella story of them guys coming out of nowhere to win it. But my head tells me, man, it's gonna be the Rams, and let me tell you why. First of all, the Bengals, when it comes to like scoring and weapons, they probably got. I ain't gonna say they probably get just as good as far as weapons. My biggest issue with the Bengals, well, 2 issues, is the first one is going to be the offensive line. So then now you put that offensive line who gave up 9 sacks to the Texans up against Von Miller, and I want to say the Rams had the number 1 or number 2 or number 3, I think, pass defense as far as getting sacks and stuff. You put them up against that line, so they automatically got the advantage. All right. in which now you're talking about a big advantage with that. So that means that Joe Burrow not going to be able to get in the pocket and go through his progressions like he want to. And I guarantee you this right here. If he gets sacked 5-6 times like he got sacked against Texas, they are not going to lose this game. The problem that Texas had with that game is their quarterback play. Ryan Tannehill blew that game for them guys. That he threw 3 costly interceptions. If you take away them interceptions that this man threw, the Texans beat the Bengals. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think, and Matt Stafford got the capability of doing the same thing. Don't get me wrong, Matt Stafford he could easily throw. I can see him doing the same thing. But my heart tells me that they're gonna try to run, and then they're gonna run the throw. What the Rams gonna do? So I think that they're gonna get a lot of pressure on Burrow, and I think that the offense is gonna be good enough to put up 31 points against the Bengals defense, which I want to say that their pass defense was like 17th. They had the number 17th defense out of all football or something like that. I think that Cooper Kupp is gonna have a big game, and Odell Beckham's gonna get 100 yards. I think they pass offense is gonna be good. I think they're gonna score more, and I just think that with the pressure they're gonna put on, they're gonna put on Joe Burrow, that they're not gonna be able to do a comeback like they did against the Chiefs against them. And that's just coming from me, your boy Chucky D. This is my prediction. I got the Super Bowl being 31-17. Facts. Rams winning. Odell getting that first championship. Him and Matt Stafford. Y'all be easy.